this is Janet with Photography Makes. I'm coming on today to show a really cute shaker box. Yes, and I wanted to do like from the beginning, but I'm not going to show the whole process of making the box because it's basically watching glue dry. So, but I wanted to show what I'm using and a little bit about the box. So, for the actual, okay, so let me start with this. Hold on. This is what the box looks like. Let me open it up. And it's a box. This is the lid. And I mean, obviously you could pick any colors you want. So the box is actually, the box itself, minus the image, is from Dreaming Tree. So 3D, I think it's 3D Dreaming Tree Designs.com. And it has this really beautiful 5x7 orchid box. That's the one, I'll link it below. That's the one I use. So I have a Cricut that cut it out for me. So if you have a machine that cuts out SVG files, this will be beneficial to you. And then the images, which come in more than one design, are from KBandfriends on Etsy. Aren't these cool? So this one looks like a little cookie box with the little cookies in there, but it has the acetate, so it's a little bit more dimensional, which I think is really cool. Her designs flat look pretty dimensional. So today this is the image I'm going to use. It's Christmas snow. And I'll link the one I use below, because she has ones that are already like boxes, so you print it out and you would cut out the shape. You'd follow the lines on the shape and then cut out the box and then assemble it. But these are really sturdy. I'm using some really nice paper. This one's not as sturdy as this one. What paper do I use? I buy paper from the paper mill store. Oops, sorry, bells. So this is the papers I use, the paper mill store. And this is only, it says an 80-pound cover. This is the, but it does all these things. It embosses, you can laser jet, inkjet, die cut, rubber stamp, and market art. With these papers, they're really nice. They're solid core. They don't like, when you like score and bend it, they don't like fray. They're actually really nice papers. And it says 80-pound, but these are pretty thick. I mean, this is a pretty solid box. So, this one I use just regular pattern paper from like a pack of paper. And look, this one's way more flimsy. So it was an experiment because I like the pattern paper and I have a lot of it. So I was hoping that I could use it, but I don't think, if you're putting something light in here, I don't think it'll matter, you know, like some little die cuts or whatnot. You know, like even maybe, see, like a little punch might be too much. See how it kind of bends? Maybe little things of ribbon. Yeah, that would be okay. Or even like twine. I don't know. But so small things, I guess, for the pattern paper. Okay, so this is, I'm going to just quickly show you what the pieces look like for the box, and then I'll come back and show you how I do the topper. Okay, so the box has, so use a 12 by 12 for the top piece. This is the top lid. And then it cuts out a second piece of paper for the top. See, it says T here. This is the liner for the inside of the box. And then it's like 4 12 by 12 pieces. So then this attaches like this. And then it also does a flower. So there's a flower involved because it is an orchid box. Okay, so I'm going to glue this up and I'll be back. Okay, so once you have your box glued, it's going to look like this and all assembled. The next thing we need to do is the topper. So you're going to need a piece of foam core. And you're going to need two, well, I'm using, you can do whatever you want, but I'm using two images. I cut them both out. You're going to take an X-Acto knife and you're going to cut out the centerpiece. Okay? And then what I do for the foam core part is I trace, and then I literally just make a square and cut out the square. And I'm just using an X-Acto knife for this. And then you take your acetate. I'm actually using this transparency film. I got it for free. They were going to throw it out at work, and I took it and I said, oh, I can use that. So that's what I've been using for my acetate. Works fine. Is it clear? No, it's not. It's got a little bit of a, well, it's got two things. One, it has a little bit of a texture, which I'm going to put on the inside. And two, it has, because of the grit, because it's printable, but it also has a little bit of a dingy look to it. So that's okay. Still works. I'm using my ATG gun. I'm just going to put this on the back. So this is going to cover up our window so all our snow doesn't fall out. And I'm going to trim off any bits that I got over, which is this tiny little corner. That's okay. Okay. So, all right, there's two ways of doing this. I usually glue this piece down. Let's make sure I got the right orientation here. Yeah. So I'm going to glue this bottom piece down to my image. And I'm using wet glue for this. I'm using this Beacon foam and poster board. I used this for my box too, and I really liked it. So you're going to want to glue this really well all the way down, all sides. You can use layered paper. You can use fun foam. You can use whatever you have. I always encourage that because we usually have a lot of craft supplies. So I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. Okay. So now our shaker reservoir is ready. All right, so there's all kinds of different snow filler. You can use small styrofoam beads, big styrofoam beads. Dollar Tree, those are both Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree both has these faux snow. They come in blue, and then this iridescent thing, which I think I'm going to use today. And then I've also found this artificial snow, which is like, it's not paper, but it's got like a, I don't know, it's like an odd texture. And yes, it's super messy. All this is going to be super messy. But this would be a good one too. So it's like, which one should we use? But I like this one with the iridescent flakes in it. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. Okay. And I think I'm just going to use that. But you can add you can do anything with your shaker. I put little beads in this one, and flat sequins, and some confetti bits. Same for this. I've used little clay pieces in here, if you can see them. Use some clay pieces, some sprinkle clay pieces, sequins. You can put anything you want in your shaker. But since this one is meant to be like Christmas snow, I'm going to make it look like what the box is advertising. Okay, so this glue actually dries really fast. So I want to make sure our reservoir is clear. I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay. And this is where you get to see me freak out. No, not really. This is just messy. So we're going to try to be as neat as possible with it. I'm also going to have to find another container for it. Okay, so I'm just going to fill this baby up to my satisfaction. Oh, yeah. That. Oh, my God, that's so fun. Is that too much, I wonder? It might be too much. Do you think it's too much? I don't know. Ah, it'll be perfect. Okay, so I've got my shaker piece in there, and I'm also going to use wet glue for the topper. And I want to make sure I get all the edges, the sides, the corners really well. So this is going to go on top of your box. This is your box. Now your box topper. Okay. And since this isn't a perfect 5x7, there's going to be a little bit of a gap on the box, the top of your box. So let's just stand this up. Make sure it's nice and even as much as possible. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to just put my blocks on here to press it down for a minute. This glue dries really fast. I think I said that, but it's true, it does. So I clean the top of my bottle before I put the cap back on it. I just use a little wet wipe and just clean that off. And I also use a pokey tool to make sure that it's clear, so it doesn't dry and harden in there. Okay. So that is perfect. Okay, so I did add trim, and I'll show you why in just a second here, because there's a little bit of a gap between the two, and I felt the trim it adds a little bit of a decorative element, a texture element, and I just think it's so fun. But it also hides the edge, the raw edge of your foam core. And you don't have to use the pom-pom trim. You can use ribbon. You can glitter it. You can do anything you can think of. You can use cord and glue cord around the edge. So yeah, you can be creative. It's it's the best part about making. All right, I think we're good here. Okay. So there it is. How cool is that? So this is what it looks like. Side, front, back. And yes, it's still wet because it's drying. It still feels cold. So, but I don't think that ended up being too much snow. It's the perfect amount. And it's not sticking to the edges because it's not sequins. Sometimes the sequins wedge themselves. I don't know if you could tell in this, but they kind of wedge themselves. See how they all kind of in there, which is kind of annoying. But this one worked out exactly how I wanted it to. Okay, so now I'm going to show you. So I'm going to position this on my box as evenly as possible. So my box is going to be like a tall up and down, but see how it has like a bit of an edge here? And you can see the foam core. The foam core is not ugly necessarily. It's not perfect either. I am going to finish mine with some white pom-pom trim from Dollar Tree. And it's going to go all the way around the edge. So I'm going to hot glue that on, and I'll post a final photograph of it at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Super easy, really fun. It's an easy way to make a shaker, and it's a fun way to make a box. I mean, how cool is a box with a little shaker on the top of it? All right, I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.